Benvenuti. Sorry that we've been gone for a while. And we had to throw together an episode that was from a live stream.
Yeah.
If anyone follows me on social media, you'd probably know that I'm pretty consistent on getting content out, and it takes a lot for me to not record content, but
I know you are always. I mean, even when I'm here, sometimes that he disappears. I'm like, where'd you go? And he'd be recording something.
Yeah, but we had a pretty good reason that we were MIA for a little bit. I don't know if you want to talk a bit about where we've been.
Yeah, I think I hate when there's elephant in the rooms, so I just thought I would address it. Obviously, everybody's going through it. Global pandemic. It's very hard sometimes to have these one-on-one interviews, not interviews, but doing the podcast with Steven, because we don't live together, so we have to be really careful when we see each other to make sure that we're okay and we're not impacting each other in any sort of way, and getting COVID or anything. So we just always have to make sure that things are okay there. And so that was one of the reasons why we didn't see each other. And then another reason, and I'll keep it kind of private, but I had a family emergency. Everything is fine now, thank goodness. Some things are still being addressed, but otherwise, I think we're in a good place, I hope, knock on wood. So, yeah, but that took a few weeks to get through that. So those are, I think, the two big elephant in the rooms.
Yeah, but we're back, and we've even talked about doing some a cooking segment or something separate on the Chicago Fun Times YouTube channel. So we'll definitely be doing some collaborations coming up, especially because Chicago is going into another lockdown situation.
Yeah, Is it an official required lockdown, or is this? I heard that we had an advisory lockdown. I wasn't sure if we.
It doesn't sound like it's exactly the same as the shelter in place, but they're just don't do anything for a few weeks. So we're back on that again, but luckily we'll have some Bad Italians episodes for you all to listen or watch in the meantime. And in today's episode, we've got we're trying to make up for some things, so we've got a fact of the day.
I got my notepad.
And we've also got a word of the day. So we got both of those, and we'll also do the Mamma Mia segment because we didn't have segments in the last episode.
No, and we're so sorry about that. So the last episode, of course, because I had mentioned earlier of everything happening, Steven we had done prior to actually recording for Bad Italians, a live stream off of Steven's channel at Steven Russell B. Shameless plug for Steven.
And we had this exact setup in that live stream.
Yeah.
So I was like, I could probably put together a Bad Italians episode as long as segments weren't a problem.
Right.
So we just went ahead and did it.
I know you're going to think this is funny, and I know we didn't have any segments. We didn't have Mamma Mia like you mentioned, but I actually really liked that stream that you put together. I thought it was a lot of fun. We were so excited for the possibility of this podcast. I think it really showed when we were talking about it, and for how much the potential of the podcast can go. Like you mentioned, potential cooking segment. Maybe, I have friends in Italy. Maybe they'd be interested in talking to us. It's unfortunate that we can't travel right now, but it could be cool to get their perspective about what we're talking about in terms of being bad Italian Americans. So, yeah, could be fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I agree, and it's good to be back and making some jokes.
Yeah, it is. It officially is. It's been a long time, unfortunately, but things just happen. Life happens, so just try to get back to it.
How do you feel about this is something I've been thinking about.
Sure.
So you might have saw I did a YouTube video that was a tier list, and I did every single school year of my life.
Oh my gosh, yes, so, I remember this.
So my question is, if you had to do a tier list of your favorite, because we were talking about Papa John's earlier.
Oh my god.
About this. If you had to do one of all of the fast food pizza places.
Oh God.
So, you know, Pizza Hut would be one. Domino's would be one.
Awful.
What is your what's your order with those?
Okay, well, first off, nobody. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I have friends that do love Pizza Hut. I have friends that love Domino's. All of those places, fine if that's what you want. They're not for me. I will say I really did, and it goes against everything. And any Italian would disown me if they really knew this. But I did like Papa John's I did for a long time. But then I had it. Remember, I had it delivered to my place instead of your place, and it just was terrible. Remember, I told you?
No.
I did tell you.
I swear. A bad Papa John's?
I had a very bad Papa John's experience. I don't know if I can go back.
What?
I'm telling you.
I did not know about this.
Yeah. It's fine when it comes here. Trash when it comes to my place. Just pure garbage.
Interesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to say, if anyone is in the Chicagoland area and is very interested in really good pizza, I would definitely suggest Armand's. It's a tavern-style pizza. It's a thin crust pizza. Amazing. They're on Western, and they deliver.
I can confirm it is.
Yeah, it's very good. And I'm sorry, I do sound like an ad. I'm not sponsored. I wish they would sponsor me. I would totally. Oh my God, I love Armand's. Been going there since I was a kid. Very good pizza if that's something that you enjoy.
So you're not gonna put any of the pizza okay. If you're not gonna do it, I'll do my my tier list.
I did a list. I would say Armand's and then.
Well, Armand's doesn't count though. I'm talking about like if only the chain ones. So like S tier is the best. Then there's A, B, C. Like Papa John's for you is the S. It's clear.
I guess so. I guess yeah.
Do you have a second though after that one since you put that one in its own category?
No.
You just don't like the other ones.
I don't like.
Domino's. No, thank you.
No, I refuse. That's not pizza. That's just carbs.
Like maybe I like pizza so much that I like all of those pizza places.
Do you really? Uh-huh. You're a disgrace. Just saying.
I like them all. I actually Pizza Hut's pan pizza when you get delivered isn't very good. I will say that.
All right.
But no, I still like them.
Do you notice that every time we're on this podcast, you talk about pizza?
I know.
You love pizza.
Yeah, well, I know. I bring it up a lot. We want to talk about fashion. Let's make it. Look at this. I'm wearing a flannel shirt.
All right. Yeah, let's not talk about fashion.
How many flannel shirts do I own? 2.
I actually think you look good. I think you look good.
I mean, I only buy flannel shirts that I like. That's why it's very, very rare that I find one that I actually like. I
actually really like watching people who are into fashion in Milan, like the fashion experts, fashion, designers. I think they're so great. Well, now that the world is so small with Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, you can see everything that they post, that they make, that they do, that's in stores and when it's coming out. And I follow a lot of Italian fashion influencers. I just think don't mind what I'm wearing today and don't mind even how I look today. But in general, I really do like the idea of fashion and think it's very cool.
How do you feel about like guys who just don't care at all about their fashion? Is that like a turnoff if a guy just doesn't care? Or are you like, wow, he's sexy and he doesn't even have to care about what he looks like?
No, I've never met a guy that's sexy in like khaki, baggy pants that are like not exactly shorts and not exactly pants. They're like somewhere in between, just enough to cover like hairy kneecaps. And
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like a really oversized, I would say like either a sports or university sweater with like a real crap baseball cap. People that dress like that,
it's not for you.
It's not for me. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do what you want. Totally do what you want. That some girl out there might be like, hey, I love when guys wear baggy khaki pants and oversized shirts, But it's just not for me. I really like when guys can express their sense of style, and the same for women too. Like just to, again, please don't judge this, but I love when to wear something nice or something that makes you feel like you, or something like that. I think that's great. Mm-hmm. And if guys can express who they are in how they dress, I think that's great too.
Yeah. So is it like bonus points if a guy dresses really well, or if a guy dresses like too well, are you like, I don't like that?
I get a little intimidated. I do, because I like being, again, please, I'm going to say it for a third time. Don't judge me on how I look right now. But yeah.
Everyone's judging you right
That's
now.
That's fine. Just continue to judge. It's fine. Judge hardcore. Please judge. But I do love wearing like a nice heel and a nice like skinny jean and maybe like a nice top, and my hair is usually down and I have makeup on and don't mind this. But when guys dress like real good, like when I did go to Italy and I saw all these, like, seriously, is everyone in Europe beautiful? Just a question. But honestly, like when I went over there, everybody is to the 9s, to the 10s. It's like your suit, your hair, your shoes, your belts, the sweat, the jacket that you're wearing, not like a jumper or sweater, I guess, but like, everything is just to the T, and it's so like, and very fashionable with a lot of like name brands. And I look at it like I could never afford that. Like I could never afford like a $500 to $1,000 pair of shoes, just shoes, like I'm like, whoa, I would love that, but I could, like, I can't do that.
Yeah, definitely Europeans dress better than Americans. Just
in general,
like it's really crazy. Like the American look is almost like just not caring. Like,
khaki pants,
and if you,
khaki pants,
and some of the things, and don't even get me started with this. Yeah. This concept of like, so I definitely, for a guy, I think I care a lot more about fashion and stuff like that. He does.
He really does.
Than the vast majority of guys. Mm-hmm. And part of it's just like, it takes pretty much zero effort to dress nice. Like all you need is like I hate when people act like it takes more effort to put on dress pants instead of like other pants.
Right.
Or put on jeans instead of basketball shorts.
Right.
It requires like 2 seconds of additional effort. Right. At most. It's the same amount of effort.
You would be proud of this man. He does not really, unless he's working out, he does not own gym shoes or sneakers or just any pair of like white tennis shoes.
I'm not one of those like New Balance guys.
No.
Just like white New Balance.
No, he's always in some sort of like fashionable boot and fashionable. Like you wear a lot of ripped jeans normally. You do.
I just think it's first off, I just like fashion because it's like
leather jackets. Cool. You wear a lot of leather jackets.
It's like a form of like art. Yeah. It's cool to like express what you want to look like.
Right.
So I just find it interesting when. Sometimes I'll see a girl who's like really like a great dresser and like really does herself up, and the guy like clearly has no fashion sense or just doesn't care at all about anything. And I'm like, this dude would look way better if he just like tried at least a little bit.
I know. I hate to say it, but it's kind of like the American way.
No, it is.
I don't mean anything by it, and I mean, I've been attracted to...
I mean something by it. We gotta get things better over here. What are we doing? Like, hey, dress up a little bit.
I've been attracted to plenty of American dudes, okay? And they've dressed from however nice to however not nice, and I still always like them for who they are. But, yeah...
You're able to look past those khaki shorts.
Okay, but khakis, really?
Cargo shorts.
Oh my God!
Actual cargo shorts. My favorite are camo cargo shorts. Those are top notch.
I keep like throwing this book around.
I was actually gonna comment on that.
Yeah, so I lose track of what I want to say a lot, and when we talk, we just go off of whatever it is that's on our mind. So I have notes down so that I know exactly what to say when we want to say it. We didn't have any segments last time, so I want to make sure I did not forget the segments this time. That's why
I'll make it easy. Let's go into the first segment.
Okay.
Let's go into the Mamma Mia.
Okay. Mine is huge, very huge. So my Mamma Mia moment is, of course, even if you're not American, you have certainly heard of the new president-elect Biden and Vice President-elect Harris. I'm very excited for. The lot more people came out and voted in this election. it was great to see. I think even a lot of younger people must have voted, the 18 to 24 group. Very proud of the voices getting out there. I think it means a lot to our country. I think it means a lot to the world. Excited to see where President-elect Biden will take us. So I would say that was huge news. And a lot of people are also talking about the controversy with that election as well. I won't get into it, but, basically...
It was a bunch of fraud.
Yeah. It wasn't. Okay, it wasn't. For whatever reason, the guy right now in charge, he felt that... he knew he wasn't going to win, and so he decided to throw fraud at it, and that's really unfortunate because it really makes the Democratic election look like it could be rigged in some way.
To be fair, it's very similar to I'm very competitive, and I always make excuses whenever I lose at something. I just love doing it. Like, it's just fun. Well, it's not so bad now, but back in the day, if I played a one-on-one basketball and I lost, I was always coming up with something.
But that's
My
you.
shot wasn't off that
You're
day.
Not the president of the United States.
I ate the wrong dinner. You're right. I'm not the president.
You're not the president. Who should be better than that? Just saying.
That's a definite difference. I'm not the president.
So, in my personal belief, he tried to make it seem like there was fraud. There was no fraud. Everybody is saying there was no fraud. So, I'm excited again. Very excited for the Biden-Harris administration. So, very happy about that. Yeah. What about you? What about your Mamma Mia moment?
Should I talk about Mario?
No! Oh, my God. Okay. Before we started this podcast, I said, Steven, you talk about pizza and Mario, and we need to continue on our podcast without either of those.
I know. I kind of was like,
in our conversations.
Here's the thing. I admit that I am a bad Italian. In a lot of ways, I really do think I embody a lot of the Italian American stereotype.
Me too.
In a lot of the ways, but I also
Me too.
I do kind of like the idea of like really playing up the stupid side of it and talking about like Super Mario and stuff. And I was like, Mamma Mia, and I'm right. And to be fair, right before I recorded this, I was literally playing Super Mario. So
He's trying to get all the stars.
I was actually thinking about it. I'm like, I'm like 5 stars away from the 120 in Mario 64.
But you've beaten this game. Mm-hmm. What is it? What's the right word? I don't even know. You beat the game. Is that right? Completed? I don't know. You finished it. Well, how many times did you say?
Not too many. Maybe like 3.
Okay,
times,
but
maybe.
Still, so
I've played it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
You've done it. You've done it before.
I don't really want to waste that as my Mamma Mia.
Don't waste it as your Mamma Mia. What's something that's your Mamma Mia moment?
My Mamma Mia moment is that I was actually, this is kind of a bad Mamma Mia moment, but I was going to go travel this month back to Ohio and Indianapolis. I was going to do like a little mini trip.
Yes.
But just given what's going on, I was like, you know what? Probably not the best time to go on this trip. So instead, I'm rerouting and I'm going to probably do... a lot of like content instead, that kind of stuff. Maybe I'll explore Chicago a little bit, not go anywhere because I can't go in anywhere, but I'll just like wander around the city a little bit, see what it's about.
No, that's fine. Well, if anybody is in the Chicagoland area or knows, a lot about what's going on in the Midwest region here in the United States, Chicago is in its 3rd wave of COVID. We had the first wave obviously in March, and the second came through the summer, and now we're actually double the amount of cases as of a couple months ago. And actually the most cases we've ever had, even in March. So we are the highest we have ever been at the moment in Chicago. It's very, very upsetting. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Let's so that's all my Mamma Mia moment is.
I feel like I was like a Debbie Downer on your mom. Wah wah. I'm sorry.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
the most cliche thing. It's never not what it's not. It is what it is.
I know, but still, I never mean to be depressing.
On a positive note, we can't hop over to the word of the day because we have a word of the day and a fact of the day.
Are we at that time already?
Since we've got two of these things, we're going to do the word of the day.
Oh, okay. So I got my handy dandy notebook. Isn't that what Blue's Clues said in that television show?
Aren't you a little old for Blue's Clues?
Funny. Yes, I am, but I loved it. And Hannah Montana. Oh my God, I was like 24 watching Hannah Montana. I loved Hannah Montana. Okay, all right, I digress.
That was my favorite realization when Jess. We were talking about TV shows that we liked during our childhood, and she's like, "I really liked Hannah Montana." And then I was like doing some quick math. I was like, "Weren't you like 21 when that show was out?"
24.
I was like, wow, that's
but I loved it.
That's interesting, but
see, he caught me because I told him that while I would watch it on like I had like a little flip phone, in school, and I would watch it in between classes, and I happened to be going to summer school classes like during my college, years, and so yeah, it was like 21, 22, and I mean I still watched it even past it, but yeah, I would watch it on like my little screen on my flip phone before class started.
Wow.
Anyway,
the most amazing thing is that you could watch that on a flip phone.
Well, it's like, again, it was like that little screen, and this was like we finally. So you know how when you had like the brick phone, if you accidentally pressed like the middle internet button, you never wanted to do that because it meant you'd automatically have paid like $75 to try to get on for internet access. So you never
made it to $75.
No, I swear.
You just over exaggerated.
No, it was literally $75. What? And my dad was like, never press the middle button.
That's the biggest scam I've ever heard.
Did anybody remember this? Just please write down in the comments if you remember it. And so I accidentally one time on my old phone pressed the middle button. I was like, delete, like not delete, like cancel. And it was it's crazy. But this time around with the Hannah Montana thing, I was like actually able to watch for like, for free pretty much. So that's why I did it. Okay, so sorry to go off the deep end there.
No, it was worth it.
Were you worried?
No, it was worth it.
Oh, it was worth it.
Yeah.
Hey, you could be worried if you want to be worried. What was I doing again?
The word of the day.
Sorry. Okay, word of the day. Il inverno. What does that mean?
It definitely means winter.
Damn it. Sorry, I swore on the
definitely means winter.
Yes, how did you know?
It's really close to the Spanish word.
Do you remember... Oh, yeah, by the way, Italian-American man that knows Spanish.
I know a lot more Spanish than Italian.
Yeah, he does.
A lot more. It's embarrassing.
Do you remember what il amico meant?
Friend.
Yeah. Do you remember what la sinistra meant?
Left.
Yeah. Okay.
That's good. I'm pretty much a sponge when it comes to learning this stuff.
Do you remember what le stelle meant?
Star.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I'm a sponge.
Yeah,
right.
he's a sponge. Okay. Well, good job. Good job. Okay. So that was our word.
I like doing this because I do feel like I am learning.
I know.
Look at this.
I know. We're learning.
Look at this.
We're learning. We're learning. I'm very proud of us.
See, that's like another advantage of doing this type of thing. Is I feel like with a lot of content that I do, I'm like I want to be able to have takeaways where someone could walk away and be like, I did not know that.
Yeah, I know, right? I do. I love like giving people information that they might not have known about, which brings me to our fact of the day.
Oh, okay.
Because we're going to do both because we messed up and we didn't have a week ago podcast and so
let's hear the fact.
Okay, well, let's start with I have like a sad and a good fact.
Well, we gotta do the sad one.
Okay, first. Sad fact first is the Musei Vaticani. Musei Vaticani.
I have no idea.
Okay, anyway, Vatican museums, they are closed to the public from November 5th to December 3rd because of COVID. Wah. Again. You
hate to see it.
You hate to see it. But that's the sad fact of the day. Also kind of sad, but really kind of fun. If you ever do get to go to Pompeii, I was fortunate enough to go to Pompeii 4 years ago now. It's amazing. Ever since I visited there, I've been trying to find more information online about it. Pompeii is so cool. It was the city. It was a port city at the time. It's no longer a port city. It's all the water around there, the coast has dried up since then. But the city was covered by ash from Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD. Later in the 1800s, it was rediscovered, and people have been working on preserving and showing what the city used to look like, because the ash was actually able to preserve sad but true, like the bodies of the people that died, the storefronts of those that were managed, writings on the ancient walls, things that were buried for a really long time in ash are now, a lot of it has been dug up, and you can go and see it. And so I do hope that everybody at least can research it or go look into it, because it's fascinating to me. Very, very fascinating. Yeah, and so I just always like to inform people about Pompeii if you didn't know about it before. Near Naples, the city of Naples, and Mount Vesuvius, by the way, is still an active volcano today.
Yeah, humans love to live by active volcanoes.
I know.
Literally, Mexico City is just like right by this huge volcano. And they're like, if this ever is to erupt, it's going to melt this entire city. But people still live by volcanoes. I don't understand.
I know. I would say the only good news to that nowadays is that we have all, like radar and more advanced technology to show when these things are going to happen. So if there, God forbid, is something like that, you can warn people ahead of time. Unfortunately, they didn't have anything like that during, the ancient city time. So,
yeah, I mean, I didn't really know much about Pompeii, but I've heard like the story of it before. But it's very fascinating. It's very fascinating.
They thought that they lived next to a hill. They didn't realize they lived next to a mountain because volcano, because the volcano was actually covered in like greenery and grass. So they thought it was more of a hill than actual volcano. And the really ironic thing is there was already volcanic ash on the ground that they used to build their storefronts and other buildings and homes and stuff. So very fascinating. Of course, the ancient Romans, ancient civilization in Pompeii, they didn't, this was still before, even though it was 79 AD, it was still before anybody really believed just that, like Constantine and Christ, so they still believed in all like Venus and Hercules and, everything like that. So it was very, very cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Mm-hmm. I always think it's weird back then that, like, when you go that far ago, like 2,000 years ago, just how different the world was in the sense of, there was no like recorded. I mean, I guess there's a little bit of recorded history at this point, but the world must have felt so mysterious.
Oh,
like you never knew. Like if you just like could walk into the woods and like you didn't like. It totally makes sense to me why people thought you could just like fall off the world or the world was flat or all these things because. If
what do you call them now? Flat earthers?
Flat earthers. I know some flat earthers.
No.
Yeah, those are the original flat earthers. It's okay to be a flat earther back then.
It's okay back then before maps. You're fine.
Now, it's not okay.
Not so much.
That's like one of the biggest takeaways.
Yeah, I think
so
too.
People can walk away with. It's just less okay to be a flat earther.
Yeah, I know.
In today's world.
Well, sorry that this episode. I hope it wasn't too depressing. I didn't.
No, not at all. I think it's. Not. I'm feeling uplifted.
Okay, good.
I'm feeling uplifted. I'm just glad that we're back in front of our sign that got way better since last time.
Yeah,
which is really good.
And I'm glad that I'm back in freezing and using another one of Steven's jackets again to keep me warm.
It's really great. It's really great times. Jess is like the least prepared person for this type of stuff.
Super. I mean, I swear to you, like I didn't have any makeup. I didn't have my hair straightener. I had nothing.
Like when Jess, I was like, hey Jess, by the way, today we're gonna record. And then she comes over and she's like, oh, just so you know, I couldn't find my straightener. I didn't bring any makeup.
Yeah.
In fact, I didn't even bring an outfit that I was going to wear.
I didn't.
So I'm like,
I had nothing. I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is what happens.
If you see me in a lot of the same reoccurring outfits, it's literally because I'm pulling stuff from Steven's closet because I have nothing of my own that I'm really bringing over here that's like okay for the camera. So, yeah.
It is what it is.
I know. He has to put up with me, but...
No, I don't have to, actually.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
No, I willingly actually chose to do
you
that.
do? Oh, my God, I'm so
today,
sorry.
I willingly chose to do it.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Any final thoughts before we go?
No final thoughts, but we hope to be back and better than ever. We're going to come in. Hopefully, you'll get to hear some of my friends' experience in Italy and what's going on with the pandemic over there, how their economy is doing, what's new in terms of elections for them. And then, hopefully on the Chicago Fun Times YouTube channel, maybe we could insert a little thing here just to I know that's extra editing, but it is. Or maybe Stephen will just put it in the description down below. But yeah, it's the channel which this podcast resides on, and so maybe we could add a little bit more to it with a cooking series or learning more about Italy as terrible bad Italians.
It sounds great. I'll be there.
I think I'm about to lose my co-host in this whole thing.
Nah, I'm back again.
Okay, good.
I've got no final thoughts other than we'll see you next time.
Stay safe, please.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Non più tra i farfalloni amoroso